good people? Welcome to another episode of the Realist Debates with myself, the Realist one, Jay.
This is Lengman Joseph from Around the Ways, aka Joey Leng. But for the purposes of this recording, just call me Joey.
And it's Lauren. You know who it is.
Who else?
Come on.
The usual three. So, we got a lot to unpack.
Things have been happening lately, man.
In today's show, man. Just a quick update as well, in regards to the frequency that we're going to be releasing episodes. We were trying to do 2 a month before, but as we are all lifed up, busy, working, it's going to be 1 episode a month. So make sure you look out for it. We're going to be dropping whatever's hot. 1 episode a month going forward because life is lifing. Back to today's show though. Let's pick up where we left off. What's the latest with Mr. Tate, man?
Mr. Tate.
He's
still inside.
He's still
locked up.
He's still in bin. Apparently he's had like a couple of appeals like shut down.
Oh, what? Appeals for what? To get the charges dropped or?
Nah,
sorry, actually, I've heard
bail.
that he's not been charged yet, so they're still investigating.
Yeah,
but
he's
for bail.
Yeah, trying to get obviously back out on the roads. I don't know to do what. Spread more shit. Probably.
Supercars,
But yeah, for me it's a no because I think he is a massive flight risk considering how he was bragging
He needs
about.
to stay inside.
Do you know what I heard?
25 passports.
Do you know what I heard him and his brother done?
Do you know what? Hold on, before you go into it, I forget about his brother, you know.
Was it his brother?
Is it
Tristan?
Tristan.
Fucking hell.
I swear he was giving him notes like to send to the reporters or something.
What, in jail?
I think so. He was like sending notes like help me or something like that.
Whispers.
What, he said notes saying help me?
He's handing in notes, like giving it to his brother to give to the reporters or something like that.
Oh, I heard something about this, how his brother, I think his brother was trying to talk to reporters through
Help me.
little notes or something like that.
Yeah,
I don't know.
a little.
Yeah.
Well, can't his lawyer just send that?
I don't know. But what was you going to get into?
But I heard that they have sent cease and desist letters to the 6 women who have the allegations against them. So it's essentially like that legal warning. So it's like, say Jay's saying something that I don't like here. I'll talk to my lawyer and I'll say, I don't like what he's doing. So they'll send a cease and desist letter saying, Jay, if you don't stop that, we're going to sue you for this amount.
Oh, so that's
Because what you're doing is
It's basically a silence.
is defamation XYZ. So I think if they don't cease and desist what they're doing, they will sue them for about 250 million, I think.
M's.
Yeah.
Wow. That's a lot of money, man.
But yeah, what you said was interesting. It can be seen as a way to silence what people are saying.
Threatening.
You're basically saying, stop doing what you're doing.
Stop
they're saying the
freeing
truth.
your mind.
Stop saying what happened.
That chat, stop it.
No.
Stop it.
No.
But can't her lawyer counteract that somehow?
It probably will.
Okay, fair.
Sounds like
Yeah,
they're
then
trying
it just becomes lawyer tennis, I guess. Just batting lawsuits.
No one ain't telling me shut up. Are you mad?
I'll speak louder.
Especially like,
Sue me.
I talk the truth. I'm not shutting
Trust
up
me.
for nobody.
That sounds like a
Sorry.
silencing thing.
So yeah, Tate's still in. So the Tate debate continues.
Someone who's had something dropped against him is Mason Greenwood.
Oh no.
Let me just state, first of all, because I even tweeted it, people, dropped charges do not mean innocent.
Trust me.
That's all I'll say.
It could
on
have
that.
been the silencing thing as well. Do you know what I mean?
Well, the reason why it was the charges were dropped, and actually just to rewind a little bit as to what the charges we are talking about. Sometime last year, a video and a recording, I think it was,
both.
voice recording got released online of what appears to be Mason Greenwood's doing madness to his missus.
Oh.
So the charges that were brought up against him off the back of that were attempted rape, and I think assault or sexual assault. I'm not too sure. So that's what's been dropped now. But the reason why they've been dropped, leading to what Jay's tweet relates to, is some key witnesses pulled out, but also there was new material evidence that was brought to light about what the evidence is. We don't know. Yeah. So the charges are dropped because the CPS, Crown Prosecution Service, doesn't feel as though they have enough to get a prosecution. So they're basically saying, yo, we don't think we can win, so we're not going to try, essentially.
But we are still going to have an internal investigation.
That's with the club. Because he's suspended by Manchester United whilst this was going on, but now they're looking at their own internal investigation. So what loads of people are saying now is, well, do you take Mason Greenwood back?
While during this investigation?
No.
Or just in general?
No,
just in general.
Let me clear it. So the charges that were brought against him have been dropped completely. So he is, as of now, a free man.
He's free.
Oh.
However, on the net, still, now it's coming back up again, resurfacing the audio clips and also the video of his girlfriend, and I believe still is his girlfriend now. But let's say at the time, she was bloodied, innit? Like, you could see her, I think her lip was burst, her eye or something like that. Clear, like as day. Then the audio was just as condemning, because you can hear him basically forcing her to have sex with him.
No.
And there's a bit in the clip that's damning for me, where she says, I don't want to. And he responds allegedly or something like along the lines of, what the fuck do you mean you don't want to? Let's go with allegedly, because it's not going to be quote unquote, but along those lines. So, yeah, I mean, as I said, the charges have now been dropped. I believe that they are in a relationship still. So, yeah, for me, I don't know. There's so much that we can unpick and unpack from this. Yeah.
It's mad.
Obviously, he's still contracted to one of the biggest clubs in the world, obviously Man United. And yeah, it's like, where do they go as a club from here? Because technically, he's a free man. But
I think if you keep him on, it's still perpetuating that it's okay. Because if that's your player's behaviour, then it's like you're saying, oh yeah, but you can still do what you want, and we're going to still take you on and pretend like nothing, not pretend like nothing happened, but it's okay.
Nah, I agree. I agree to a certain extent.
So then it's like, how do you just fire him and then just...
I think they will. So I think what will probably happen is they will get rid of him based on him putting the club's reputation into disrepute.
Yeah.
Because cool. Even though he was charged, but the charges were dropped, etc. If, for example, all they have to do is say to Mason, was that you in the video, in the audio clip? He says, yeah.
Exactly.
He's brought the club into disrepute.
Yeah. But this is how you're acting.
So from there, how can you keep him on? And I think what United have to do as well is they have to think about what having someone come back into the club like that can do for the rest of the club.
Absolutely.
Because whilst they've been they've had a lot of misfortune in recent years, they're now on their way up. So do you want to bring that person back into that back into what I see as a really good positive unit? But we're only talking about the men's team at the moment. Man United still have a women's team.
Yeah.
And I think they share facilities as well. So as someone as a part of the women's team, how comfortable would you be
knowing that this is
on the same pitch, just seeing Greenwood just put it top bins and his teammates spudding him? I'd be thinking, I don't know about
this.
Is this what we're saying?
Exactly.
Knee slide celebrations and that.
Yeah, I don't know, man.
Jubilant.
Honestly.
Nah. I mean, look, I believe in second chances. However, that is maybe when some justice has come about. So if there were charges upheld and he got a sentence or whatever, then got released, that's when I believe his second chance should come. However, I don't know. I'm just talking from a personal perspective of someone that's seen the clips, heard the audio for myself, and I'm just giving my personal perspective. So I don't want you lot to get confused or anyone to get confused. Like, this is the general consensus. This is just my opinion. But if you have seen the clips and heard the audio, like, there's no way he should be allowed to play in the professional game again, in my opinion, because obviously in that comes a lot of obviously the riches that come with it, the endorsements that come with it, the younger kids that look up to you. Do you understand? And off the back of that, the younger kids that look up to you, like, I've seen a lot of United fans just on social media, like, bring him back straight now into the fold. We need him. We need a strike.
That's more important.
Already rubbing out what he could have potentially done, and just seeing it from a football perspective, like, we need a striker. Greenwood's a good striker. Bring him back in. He's innocent. Like, that to me is tapped. Like,
of course.
Come on.
Of course.
So that's where I stand. So, I've been talking too much.
Yeah, you kind of answered the question that I was gonna ask you, actually, is in terms of, let's just say United get rid of him, right? What's next for him? Do we say, cool, you can never play in the professional game again, even though you have had some form of punitive measure because you got sacked by a previous employer? So do we then say no other club can sign him? Your career is done? Because what I'd say is, like, in other professions where you are in the public eye, it looks a bit different. And I think the one person that comes to my head, just because I've seen him pop up again, is Chris Brown. Sorry.
I was gonna bring this up.
Is Chris Brown, because when he was 17?
Yeah.
I thought he was a bit older, but fair. So yes, when he was 17.
Yeah, I was gonna bring this up.
He had a domestic. He beat up Rihanna. At the time, I suppose the punitive measures that he faced, I can't remember all of them, but he would have been blacklisted from certain radio stations. His sales would have slumped, etc. But he still has a music career. It's picked back up.
Was he charged for that though?
That I can't remember.
Yeah,
I'm not too sure.
And this is what I was gonna say. Going back to what you were saying, everything is right, but there needs to be that I don't know,
some sort of like punishment, or
there needs to be that punishment
to your actions.
Then you get your second chance at redemption. This is why I'm asking, was because I can't remember if Chris Brown was charged. I think he was charged, you know, if I remember rightly. I think he was charged, but either way, in this instance now, I feel there needs to be a punishment before you're given that second chance at redemption. Not just, okay, he didn't get charged, let's sweep it under the carpet and give him a second chance. Because for me, there's no turnaround. Do you understand? In the person.
So I mean, he's been dropped from Nike, his sponsorship deal. He has no sponsor.
Good.
Potentially, he could be. He's already lost. What is a short career? He's already lost time. Whilst this is going on, he's not played in. I can't remember the last time he played. And United are looking at whether they should keep him on or not, because there's an internal investigation. So let's just say they say, right, cool, we're going to terminate your contract. Like, is that enough of a punitive measure, or do we say, yeah, you can't play in a professional game again?
I don't know. I don't know the football world.
Because why I ask is because it seems as though he's only, if that is the case, he's just unfortunate that he picked to be a footballer. Because if he was a musician,
someone else, then they'll be more like,
it'll blow over and he'd be back on Spotify again.
But these are the consequences to your actions. Do you know what I mean? Like, you done this, or allegedly. So you know, this is what happens when you mess up. Do you know what I mean? It's what happens when you're abusive. There should be consequences to your actions. Sorry for your career, but you put that in jeopardy, and your, what's it called, your team and your the company and all that type of stuff. Sorry, you'll get another job. You do a 9 to 5 now. Sorry, do you know what I mean?
I mean, there is that as well. it's like, okay, if he can't be a footballer no more,
His other skills, other jobs.
it doesn't rub out every other job in the world for him.
Yeah.
True.
He is a young man that is able to go to uni like other people.
Find some other skills.
You know, and that might be his chance at redemption, and that might have been just the way the world worked for him, where he was given an opportunity as a young man.
Muffed it.
He didn't seize it, he messed it up, and now his time to redeem himself is finding another skill and maybe giving back to the community somehow. I don't know, I don't have the answers, but for me, you can't be going back and earning multiple thousands of pounds a week. Just like, I saw the videos, bro.
Yeah, no, like I do think you can't just go back to United and just carry on as though nothing happened, because even though the charges were dropped, there is still tangible
as well
evidence out there. Yeah.
One more thing I want to relate it to is the normal guy like you and I. Yeah, let's be real. Like, if me or you was in this same situation and we done allegedly what he'd done, and there was the evidence floating about, and I work my job that I do currently now, you work the job that you do currently now, bro.
Oh yeah, we'd be gone.
We'll be gone. One, because we don't have the money to fight it like he does. Two, because we wouldn't have been able to probably pay off the girl like he probably has and keep her sweet like that. But the reality of it, is like, our colleagues wouldn't want to see us back in the workplace again.
Not. I would expect my company to have like 500 emails.
You know?
Saying this guy has allegedly done this,
and this
get
is
rid of
what
him.
we need to look at is that he's a celebrity, so he has the riches to kind of maneuver himself out of it, which clearly has happened. If this was me, obviously, number one, I wouldn't be moving like that. And I have to do that, forget pum pum. But number two, if it was me or you in that situation, we're in bin now, bro. No questions asked. So let's be real about it. The only fact that he squirmed out of this is because he's got peas.
Exactly.
And the only reason he's got peas is because he is able to play professional football. Yeah. So, you know, it's swings and roundabouts, but it's a vicious cycle at the end of the day, man.
Let's just hope his girlfriend's okay. And just leave him.
She's rich, I know that.
I hope
she got money.
Honestly.
But like, one thing you say, is if we had done fuckery like he's allegedly done, we'd be in bin, But bin by who? The pigs be doing the same thing, bro.
Listen, the system.
We're opening up more topics.
Like, bro.
How many?
Listen, every time, because I'm an Android man, so I get the update, That's my take.
Update
news updates. That's
Android.
what I get. Every other day is some fuckery.
Exactly.
Some mad fuckery. Madness. Yeah. Up and down the nation.
Abusing power.
Like, did you see about the what's his name? PC Carrick?
I don't know their names.
So he is he is one of the country's worst sexual offenders in history.
He's a predator.
And he's part of the police.
In history?
Yeah.
And
I'm not surprised. Like, I'm just not surprised.
No. Neither am I.
Like, these are the people we put in charge to look after us. These are ones that have the power. These ones we call for help. But these are the same people doing this.
48 counts of rape.
wow.
He put a gun to a victim's head.
Excuse me?
Whilst raping her.
Excuse me?
He sent, and on top of this, he wasn't just like walking the bobby or anything. He was a firearms officer. And why for me that's worse is because it's not like America where by default you're part of the law enforcement, you get a weapon. Here,
you have to
like it's a lot for you to get a firearm. So my question now is, what the fuck was the vetting process?
Exactly.
Was there a vetting process? Now you got this madman with firearms sending photos to victims saying, I'm the one who's boss.
Nah, that's fucking tapped.
Fuckery.
Firearms.
No.
Firearms officer.
So wait, he threatened someone with a gun and forced them to have sex with him.
I can't.
He raped another female colleague as well.
Colleague.
Yeah.
Defund the police. Defund them. Defund them. We don't need them anymore.
And and you know what the worst thing is? The stories don't stop there. I got more.
Of course they don't.
What?
Listen,
You had me at colleague, bruv.
that one spun me. I read another one, right? A police officer he lived in Twickenham. He randomly, so he lived with a housemate. So she's just in the kitchen cooking, trying to fry up her meal, yeah? Comes up behind her and just binds her arms and legs.
Excuse me?
She's just like, what the fuck you done? She's just on the floor, bound. So now the postman has knocked the door. He's gone to answer it, talking to the postman. So she's trying to drive. She's trying to get free. So when he comes back, I guess he must get something out of seeing her trying to get free. So he's just standing there and watching her.
The policeman.
Yeah. And then he goes to her like, if you want me to let you free, you have to ask nicely.
Excuse me?
So to which she did, because she's in fear of her life. She doesn't know what's going to happen next. So which she done. And when he tried to cut what he bound her legs with, he must have nicked her leg or something. And then when she kind of responded to that, he was like, who are you going to tell? I'm the police.
You know? She wasn't a police officer. She was just like a housemate of his.
Yeah, she was just a housemate.
What? Flat share thing?
Yeah.
You're doing all that?
I can't deal.
Spare room
That is
gone
the thing.
crazy.
It's like you're gonna call the police and say this officer, but it's like, oh yeah, that's my friend, that's my boy. That didn't happen.
When
You know
they
what I mean?
arrive at the scene, he's gonna be like,
Yo,
"You're right, Mike."
Yeah, so you know what I mean. Yo, John.
So I don't believe her.
But he did. He got 4 years in jail.
Probably, you know.
Oh,
Yeah, he got 4 years.
oh, okay. I wasn't.
Okay,
seeing that one.
I didn't see.
Yeah.
Excuse me.
I mean, I don't know if that's enough, but it's something.
In some ways, it's like as just coming back on myself. It's good to hear that some people are getting punished for their actions, even though they're part of the police. But we just got to think about how much more, like, as you just said, police officers that are abusing their power. You know, like.
And do you know what? Both the things that we've spoken about so far, obviously Greenwood and the police abusing their power, do you know what rings out for me as well is that women that really have a problem, and they really want to scream for help.
Who do you call?
One, it's like there's a celebrity factor where Greenwood is obviously kind of bought his way out of it. And then two, the actual law enforcement be the ones doing it.
Exactly.
So, I understand why a lot of women who potentially have been raped, etc., don't even want to come forward because they feel like their voice is not even going to get heard. Either one going as well back to Benjamin Mendy, who also has now been released. Yeah,
Do you know how much that gobbed me?
Pull up.
I totally forgot about that. Yeah,
Yeah, we even done an episode on
Yeah,
that
yeah,
as well.
but
quick update on Benjamin Mendy, people, while we're fucking talking about fresh cases. All counts of rape, was it? Yeah, have been dropped against him.
But then, so I know we was talking about Mason Greenwood and as an employer, even though the cases have been dropped, etc., should you then take the player back because there's still legally it didn't work out, but there's still the moral aspect because there's still some form of evidence out there. Like with Mendy, he actually bust case. They said not guilty.
Yeah,
but I don't think City have terminated a contract or anything, but he's just
how much counts?
not about.
he's the killer.
It's like they have fully just rubbed him out.
And there's more cases of this. Do you remember Sigurdsson?
Who? Oh,
There's a footballer called Gylfi Sigurdsson.
Excuse me?
Yeah, he's
I forgot
Icelandic
about
name.
him.
All of them man, they have son on the end of their name. But yeah, Gylfi Sigurdsson. This was only a few years ago anyway. But he, again, money, he paid so that none of it would come out. So it didn't hit the press. It didn't hit no major news outlets or nothing like that. But he just disappeared.
Doesn't that show you as well, like, how corrupt these people are?
Listen,
Like, no
he
news
was
outlet
playing
for you
for
to
Everton Football Club like a couple years ago in the Premier League, yeah? This came out, but didn't come out. He paid for it not to come out, swept it under. But he just disappeared. Like, so never seen nor heard of him again.
Now, tell me if I'm wrong.
Go on.
And cameraman, I might need you to start Googling this as I talk to verify this, yeah? But I swear the way that, because I know that he was putting bare gag orders.
Who orders?
Like gag orders, so that none of the information could get released to the press. But I swear the way it got released was in the House of Commons.
Excuse me?
Oh.
Because they have protected rights. Because I know that happened to Ryan Giggs. Because Ryan Giggs has been, he is...
we could make another show.
He's a heavy chested madman.
All these names popping up.
Football's crazy at this. Not at the moment. It always has been, but it's fucked.
Going back to Cristiano and Ronaldo.
So I think that is how it got exposed, because everyone was like, who was the player? Who was the player? Because all we know is that someone has been linked to like either interacting or engaging with a minor. We didn't know who it was.
Yeah, let's be real. Ronaldo bust a rape charge. Neymar bust a rape charge.
I hope all of these people are okay. Like,
women.
Imagine just
I
seeing
hope
that.
all of
Seeing
these
those
women.
guys just like playing football and living their life. You're like,
But
raw.
again, going back to what I was saying, like, how do you get heard as a woman? If this is your real life situation, what the history tells you is either
they don't care.
It can be paid off,
Exactly.
and your story won't be heard. No one's gonna believe you, or it's internal. Like, and again, when it is the police, like, it doesn't. Like, I think you told me about the predator policeman.
Which one?
The one
I'm being genuine. Which one?
Carrick or whatever his name is.
Yeah.
So even that, like, they're not gonna put themselves on blast. You get what I'm saying? And say, "Oh yeah, one of ours did it. Sorry." Like, they try and put that in the smallest article possible and
like
tuck
tiny,
it
tiny.
away.
No one's gonna.
So, as a woman, like, I honestly feel for you guys, because
it's
if you're in a
scary.
situation, where do you go?
It's scary. It's scary because the thing is, it's like, obviously, I don't know how to even start this one, man. Like, and where to stop it. It's just like the re-education of men needs to take place, and I think that's slowly happening. But like spaces where just going home. Like, I'm tired. I've always been taught, like, carry your keys in your hand. Do you know what I mean? Like, don't walk by yourself in the dark. Have to get cabs. It's expensive. That's why women should get paid more. But
even that, though, you're right, because I remember we spoke about this before, and I distinctly remember talking about, like, crossing the road when I see a woman, etc. But even just those kind of stereotypes itself, it shouldn't have to be that way. Do you
in
understand?
my head, like, I just, like, if I'm walking, I keep my head straight and I keep, like, be proud. But it's like,
as in not try and show any
don't
weakness.
try and show any weakness, or I, like, make myself a little bigger.
Puff out that
Do you know what I
chest
mean?
again.
Like, not
Johnny
really.
Bravo thing.
Do you know what I mean? But it's like, it's hard to feel safe in a place when you know you're not safe. Because it could happen in the club. You know, we make a joke, like, a guy buys you a drink, now he thinks he owns you. Do you know what I mean? Or we're going to an after party and it's getting a bit too whatever. Like, I've had many situations where it's like, yo, I said no. Like, yo. Or, like, the friend comes in and it's like, sorry, excuse me, she's not interested. Do you know what I mean?
And they feel like they have to jump in and
you know what I mean?
protect
Sometimes you feel obligated. So it's like, sometimes when it comes to these stories, and I think I was saying before in one of our other podcasts, where it's like there's so much grey area, and there's so much in that grey area you don't know where the consent happened, because you could have consented, but I was drunk, or I was high. Do you know what I mean? Like, and then for you to go to the police,
there's so many ways that your shit can be dismissed.
Do you know what I mean? There's so many different ways. But it's like, I was saying to I can't remember who I was talking to, but it's like the majority of women that I know have been like in those situations, have been assaulted, have been raped, like, and that's mad from the majority of the women I know. Do you know what I mean? And it's just something that you just, I don't know, you just like molded it, you just get in with it, like, oh, do you know what I mean? Oh, like
something you said touched me actually. The behavioral process of men needs to be like retaught. Like that is real.
Yeah.
Like I saw a clip actually yesterday. A woman was training in the gym.
The one
in her, it's not no public gym either. Her apartment gym,
Complex.
like complex thing. So she's training in there now. And some guy shows up at the door. So hearing her story, this happens. Like, guys usually come, she buzzes them in, she gets back to her workout, they go about their business.
So just to pause you there. So the reason why she buzzed him in is because she had seen him before and he'd worked out there before. So she thought,
thinks it's a familiar face.
he's cool. So that's why she let him in. So yeah, sorry, go on.
So yeah, she buzzed him in now. She goes back to do her workout and stuff. And then like a few minutes later, you see the guy on the camera like start walking towards her. And literally he tries to grab her. Like, it's mad. Just watching the footage, it's actually mad. So you can see this girl is like scrapping with this guy in the gym. They end up on the other side of the gym. Finally, she like fends him off.
Weighed him
Mate,
up still.
she should have bust his head.
Trust
with
me,
a
I was thinking it's something around.
Nah,
and
she
I was
murked
thinking
him.
myself as well, if I saw that in the gym, I'm sorry, I'm finishing it.
There was no one else in the gym.
No, and this is the
Quick
thing.
20 plate on their head.
You know?
What do you mean?
It was like part of her complex. So
Yeah.
it's not like a public gym where
Should be a safe
you might
space.
get everyone
Yeah.
coming in. She's used to
Yeah,
training
yeah,
at
yeah.
these, I think it was like 3 or 4 a.m. in the morning. And she's seen that guy, like Joey said before.
yeah.
So it was just like, oh yeah, I'm going to let him in, go back. He's trained before, blah, blah. So it was a familiar scenario. That time he just, I don't know what took him.
I'm starting to see a lot of like women's spaces. Like, I went on holiday. Where did I go? Somewhere in Spain, and it was like a women's only hotel. And so much people are like, why do you need a women's only hotel? And it's like, to be safe. Why do you think? Even I was being a nerd. I was going somewhere, but on the train it was asking me like, oh, is it packed or whatever? But it said, is there a women's only carriage?
Oh, okay.
And I'm like, there's women only carriages, and it's like, can you see the signage or whatever? And I'm looking around like,
where was
is
this?
there a women? It's on the train.
In Spain?
No. The hotel was in Spain, but now I'm in London. This was like last week.
Oh.
And it was like asking like, is it packed, or you know when you can see if it's, what's the word called? If it's busy, or if it's too like congested or whatever. But then the next question was, oh, is there a women's only carriage? And I was like, are these things?
Does that exist?
Do you know what I mean? So I think maybe they're trying to introduce that, but it's like, just leave us alone. Do you know what I mean? Even on the trains, you see like, oh, some eye contacts, too much eye contact. But it's like, I don't know. I don't know where to begin, and I don't know where. Do you know what I mean? Like, but I remember even from the youngest, like maybe I was in like primary school, and I had like my summer dress on. And I must have like bent down, but I'm just trying to pick something up, and my aunt was like, "What are you doing?" Like she's probably like, "Don't bend down," because she's saying that men's gonna look at you and whatever. And it's like, I'm a kid.
Yeah.
Like
You don't take in any of that.
So then we've been taught from young, like
men are predators.
But you don't know why. Do you know what I mean, or what they're gonna do? And I think like, I remember my dad. He was teaching us basically not to open the door to strangers. But he literally like grabbed us and he was like, scream.
Just to reenact it, yeah.
Well, you can't scream. So he's teaching us like, you've got to like fend for yourself, and why do I have to do that? What are you teaching like your young girls? Like, obviously it needs to happen, but are we teaching our boys this?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like, just how
there's
to.
definitely an onus.
Is it? I don't know.
It's true. I mean, obviously, as a girl, being taught defense tactics almost, like, I don't know, my dad weren't around, innit? So I didn't get no advice. But obviously, living with my mum, it gave me a perspective of how to treat a woman. So I don't blame not having a father around to teach you these kind of things. Like, that's, for me, that's an easy cop out. We all have sense at the end of the day. Absolutely. Common sense. And yeah, it's just like, I don't believe also that as a young man, there's a way to coach behavior of how to treat women. I think that most of it should come naturally. But yeah, it's a sticky one, man. Very sticky.
I think a lot of it comes down to like the repetitive processes that we teach people. So like what you're saying with your aunt and your dad and stuff, what they taught you, like, what they teach you is basically survival instincts. But
constant fight or flight. Constant.
Yeah, but as you said, like, what do boys get taught? Not much in that regard. But I think, personally speaking, I think if you were to, for example, just from a young age, blanketly teach your children about consent, I think that kind of radiates out to so many other things, not only about how you treat other people. So we don't have cases where we need a female only hotel or anything else like that, because everyone has consent for everyone else's boundaries and personal space, etc. But we don't really do that. What we do is we teach the same old things. So, don't bend over, or don't do this, or because boys will see and this, that, the other. But what we don't do is teach boys how to respect, and stuff like that.
Exactly. Yeah.
That's a good one, actually. Like, respect as just like a baseline.
Yeah.
Because even as looking back on a younger me, certain things I didn't know were disrespectful, if that makes sense. So thinking as a young boy, for example, I might have stared at women or looked at women in an inappropriate way, but just put that down to me being a man, looking at a woman's assets and being intrigued by a woman's assets. Do you get what I mean?
Yeah.
Whereas not knowing, you're invading her privacy. Like, you're making her feel uncomfortable by this. So for me, looking back at a younger me, seeing how, as Joey was saying, it's a respect thing. I might not have known as a younger man that what I was doing was disrespectful. I probably thought the opposite. I just thought it was my manly instinct kicking in. Like, okay, she's got breasts, she's got and then before you know it, this woman's looking at you like you're right. And you're like, well, I'm just being a man. I'm looking at your assets. Don't take offense to it, when really it's offensive.
I think,
but in reflection, I see that as an older man. Do you get what I'm saying? So, a lot of these young youths these days are unruly.
I think, like, it comes in all shapes and sizes. With the, I don't want to touch onto the gender topic or whatever, but with that, what am I trying to say? Like, how you're taught, like, oh, this is a man and this is a woman. But if you just are taught, like, women are just human beings. There's nothing much different to us. Do you know what I mean? Like, how you view a woman, how you view a man. Maybe that can be something in that as well. I don't know.
I believe a lot of it boils down to the dated views as well. That, the man is the dominant one, the breadwinner, and the woman's the one at home doing the cleaning, the cooking, and looking after the family. All those little. Whereas now, women are about doing their shit,
doing their thing.
Whereas I think for some guys that's hard to accept.
Yeah,
You know?
but that's what I'm saying. You need to get out of that.
Especially if you've been, as we say, the education of a young man. If you've been raised as an alpha male, you know, men should be but then you're growing up and you're seeing powerful women around you, you're gonna feel a bit uneasy.
Yeah, well, it's a you problem. You need to retrain yourself. 100%. You know what I mean? Seeing things.
I'm just trying to sit on the fence here and trying to give another perspective.
You're a feminist. You're a feminist. I'm a feminist.
But I hate the concept of alpha male.
Yeah, like
I think it's like really dumb, but it's actually applied incorrectly.
Yeah,
I think I might have said it on a previous podcast episode, but I done like a mentor session once, and with some young teens, and we went through what an alpha male is, etc. And they had like a load of scientists that went into what are they called? What's Mighty Joe Young? Who? Gorillas. Yeah,
That's me.
Mighty Joe Young. Excuse me.
So they went into like what they call it? Pack group.
Yeah, something like that.
Group of gorillas, and they looked at the alpha male, who led the group of them. But what they looked at was his characteristics, and none of them were what we might attribute to what an alpha male is. A lot of what he had was empathy, and compassion, etc., which you need, because if you're leading a group and you're supposed to be a leader, you need to know how to tap into different types of people. And what they actually found is that someone who tried to usurp him to become the alpha male had too many aggressive traits and traits that we would associate with alpha maleness in society. And what they done is they basically pushed him out, because they knew that if he led, the whole thing will come crumbling down.
The thing is collapsed.
And what that gorilla done was took another one under his wing, because he knew, listen, my man's, he's aggy. I might not be able to scrap my man, you know. So he took him under his wing, to basically pass on what being an alpha male is, but also in case my man tries to run up on me, we might have to rush him.
We might have to tag team. Honestly.
But yeah, like, I think we just need to like rethink what being an alpha male is.
I think that term is kind of dormant now anyway.
But I think again, like, a lot of women are going, what? What? Who are you? Like, I think also it's like what girls like and what women like, a man who's in charge. And so it's like, again, like taking it out of context. Like, in my head, it's like, why are you talking to me like that?
To me, alpha male has always been more of a feeling rather than a title. Like, I've never called myself an alpha male anywhere, ever. But then you can have the feeling inside, the way you carry yourself, etc. But even that doesn't involve disrespecting women.
Yeah, like, you could be an alpha male, but it might come out as cocky or you're an arsehole. Do you know what I mean? So I think, or confidence. But it's like, I think that people just have to like understand, and it's in time and place. Do you know what I mean?
Do you know what it is? I'll boil it down to this, yeah. If you have ever called yourself an alpha male, you're rubbed out. It is one of those things someone has to give to you. Someone has to say, you know,
not a self-proclaimed
you're an alpha male.
It's not
like, based on what you do. So you can't call yourself that. It just looks rubbed.
So I'll give you a fact as well. In Egyptians, you know, the men, they wear wigs because they all had to shave their hair off. But once they understood the importance of a woman and how powerful women are. So once they embodied a woman, that's when they get the wig, and that's when they get like leveled up.
Oh, that's sick.
Like, do you see what I'm saying? So these Egyptians were conquerors of, you know, big things. Do you know what I mean? And they understood the power of a woman. And I think many cultures, when you look back, they were doing it right because we were all equal. We were all doing the thing. Do you know what I mean? I would say to people as well, like, look, in the animal kingdom, men are the breadwinners. Out of the packs, who's getting the food?
Look at lionesses.
Out of all the packs, who's getting the food? Who's the fighters? Who's the warriors? Do you see what I'm saying? So even birds. Where's the man bird?
The man bird.
It's the woman looking after the eggs, or penguins. It's the men that's looking like hibernating with the kids, and the women are fishing for the fish. Do you know what I mean? So it's like,
have we got it wrong?
who's the more beautiful ones out of birds? It's men. Do you see what I'm saying? So it's like we have to look to everyone else. Ants, they're all working together. Everyone's got a place and a time, and you know what I mean. So we just have to just do better, think more, and educate ourselves. Do you know what I mean? Because it's getting too much now. Do you know what I mean?
Talking of too much, I just want to bring it to a little lighter side to this as well.
Oh, where you going, bro?
Too much, bro. There's been a lot of impersonation going around these days.
What?
Like, and I've had enough. Because I've seen a few cases in the last few weeks that I'm like, are you really, really being serious?
Oh, so, I think I know where you're going.
Let's start with the first one, yeah?
Mads.
Huh?
Mads.
Wait.
I need to speak to Jerry.
There's that one. Let's go with that one. No, that wasn't even the first one. Let's go with the first one, yeah? Because I want to talk about my childhood sweetheart.
Love it, babe. Love it, babe. Love it, babe.
Hey, listen, Aaliyah was my childhood sweetheart. I remember my English folder, I had pictures from Word Up magazine.
Swear down.
Cut out. Collage. Yes, the collage, fam. The Aaliyah collage. Do you know how much Word Up magazines I had to cut out to get her face? Anyway, Aaliyah, R.I.P. darling. Beautiful. So, obviously, everyone knows the history with herself and R. Kelly, boom, bam, bam. So, a girl has come forward claiming to be their love child, innit? Yeah. Anyone who has seen this, look, I don't even want to, I don't even want to delve too deep in it. But girls, stop being disrespectful.
Stop it.
Please leave. Just stop it, man.
Leave it alone. Do you know what made me laugh? It was the drawings behind her.
Some etch-a-sketch picture behind. Yeah, come on.
Etch-a-sketch.
No, but the funny thing is with Jerry, he said like, now what are we gonna do with it? What do you want?
Like,
Why do you want us to
that's
do
my
that information?
thing. That's my thing. Like, I was scrolling through IG, just eating cereal. I saw it. Said, "Cool. What do I do with that?"
Bro, Aaliyah's dead and your dad is in bin for
like,
the maddest thing. Where are you going with
what
this?
do you want to do with this?
Now
what was the publication of that gonna do?
Now what?
Like, I don't care.
Now what?
No one cares, hun.
So, I believe...
But that started a very miniature snowball effect.
She started
that
something.
is
innit?
fuckery.
Like, did everyone just wake up that week and say, I want to be someone's love
I'm
child?
the one. I'm the one.
No one's filling the void. Let me just jump in, innit? Let me just
Said,
let me
yo,
join.
IG's a bit dead. Let me
I'm
just
lining up the
sprinkle it.
feed.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Let me get something on shade.
So that was the first one that I saw anyway. I don't know if you lot saw. Then this
But then it's caused the next thing.
I don't know.
I need to speak to Jerry.
Was it
I
Jerry
just-
and Katie?
Even the Insta on, you know when you put your bio, yeah, or you could put your name. On the name it says, I need to talk to Katie and Jerry McCann.
I need to find it.
What do you mean? What for?
I didn't realize it was in the bio.
It's
My girl,
there.
I think you edited the profile.
Where
and
you
saved.
have your name, it says,
mate.
I need, and I think need is in capitals.
Alright.
Correct me if I'm wrong.
All right, I got it, right?
No.
Please,
I
run
got
the
it, I
thing,
got it.
please.
We're gonna have to put a picture up.
So, right, help me.
Oh.
I need to talk with Kate and Jerry McCann. At this point, I said safe. I was tapped out. But there's more. I think I can be Madeline. I need DNA test. Police investigators from UK and Poland try to ignore me. I will tell my story in posts here.
Yo,
Help
Maddie allegedly is in Poland. Is this what you're telling me, cuz?
It's the
broken English for me.
Yeah, no, yes.
Nah. Don't, because if she's in Poland, that makes sense. She's in a different country.
What happened to Portuguese, cuz?
I don't know, bro. Listen, when I saw Katie and Jerry, I tapped out. What? I thought that's your mum and dad.
That is her mum and dad.
No, but
What
she
the hell
have
are you
a mum and
doing?
dad. They're formals, bruv.
Hey,
I said me is the
it can't be.
pictures. Oh, but I've got this eye. And
I
Imagine
don't
it's
know,
got
man.
this eye.
That's
Shut
where
up.
it goes lefter for me, because people are actually believing this.
No.
I don't know about the R. Kelly one and the Leo one. Look, forget it. But this Madeleine McCann one, people are actually buying into it. And I can't lie. When you said that, what did you say, Hookah Powdy? I fainted, bruv, because someone else put a picture of him and I said, nah, that's him. That is him.
People are basically saying that whoever's come out and said, yeah, I'm Maddie, help me. They're saying, why? But you look like Lewis Capaldi.
I didn't know who he was till I saw the picture.
I can't lie, he's a cool dude. He's funny still.
That
was
raw. Me. Look.
Get over yourself, girl.
That's the realness. Just be who you are. Be proud to be whoever you are, innit?
Like,
be proud of your real parents. Even if they're shit parents, just own them. Just at least own them.
Because the thing is, as well, right? Like, I gotta try to say this, right? Look, this is a serious paragraph.
Okay.
But Katie and Jerry, right? They're going through trauma, innit? Like, they've lost their child. So, seeing all these little things pop up, like saying, oh, I'm Maddie, Katie and Jerry, come speak to me. Like, trying to book a Teams meeting. Like, come on, man. Like,
Zoom call.
At the end of the day, there's still parents that have lost their child.
Correct.
Under very public circumstances,
Yes,
which can
of
only
course.
be all the more worse. So, yeah, it's just fucked up.
I still believe it was them.
I was about to say, that's why the time I was like, under public circumstances, yeah.
Oh, what? So you know, we're looking at me like,
Well, I was just letting you run with it. Like, yeah,
I was like,
they lost the
all right,
I was like, they lost
yeah.
that kid, but yeah,
It was them.
I believe it was them still.
no, but I swear, originally, isn't like the way she originally got lost was. Then they go boogie in the pool.
Yeah, they
while
drugged
she was in
her
the
up.
hotel room.
Reckless.
They drugged her up.
And she was in the hotel room, right?
Yeah.
They left her.
The little
that's
There was two
crazy.
of them, I think. There was two kids.
I think it's like a son and a
Yeah.
daughter.
There was a
just
son.
Maddie. There was another one.
So where's the son?
I don't know.
What?
No, I don't care, but I don't know. I swear, like they found like blood in the trunk or whatever, and the
Be real, you
cleaner
don't
and this
care.
type of shit. I don't
Oh,
wrote books and everything. I
no,
don't.
that story was a long time ago.
Long time.
Yeah, it's
Barely remember.
I
decades
say,
ago.
insist, like, calm down. Like, no one cares.
But
Some people
again, like, if that was you or I, as black parents, like, do you think our story will still be public news today?
Oh please.
Especially with the
Oh,
negligence,
please.
black parents go fucking Ministry of Sound while kid is left
Oh,
at home.
shut up. No.
Saying what? I was downstairs by the pool. What?
It's your
Ministry of
fault.
Sound? I was in Portugal.
It's your fault.
they're getting
Imagine we
cooked.
went raving and left our youth,
Taken away.
hypothetically,
Taken away.
and something happened.
Yeah, they do us.
We'll
Come
be
on.
finished. So yeah, they got book deals,
Yeah.
Netflix deals. They are clear.
Honestly.
I mean,
no.
they did lose a kid, and we do have to appreciate and respect that.
Don't you think that's a mad concept though? Like, you lost your kid and you got P. Like, you actually made bank off of it.
Called selling your
Like,
soul.
It's us.
Sold to the highest bidder.
Before we round up, did I tell you guys what happened to me last week?
Oh god.
No.
So, you know how we were supposed to record last week, yeah?
Yeah. Oh
And
yeah.
afterwards, I told you guys, do you know what?
Yes, cameraman.
Nah, but remember I told you guys afterwards, you know, I'm glad it didn't go through because I am mashed. So, I woke up mad early on that day, right? Sunday. Woke up at like 5 in the morning. So, I built one. Thought, yeah, let me knock myself out before I need to get ready for here. Smoked it, went back upstairs. I'm in bed. And you know when you're like in limbo of sleep? I'm just hearing something outside, like hearing screeching.
Screeching.
And I'm thinking, it's the cats and the foxes, man. But then I heard, help me.
No.
And I thought, wow, foxes don't do that.
Foxes.
So I thought, did I hear that? I kind of got up and I was just like to my missus, babe, did you hear that? And she's like, yeah. So we opened the window. All I'm hearing is, help me, I'm bleeding. What? And I thought,
here we go. Put
your cape on, lad.
Get my cape, yeah? Get my cape.
Where's my super suit? Sorry.
Babe, get the nank. No, I'm joking. So I went out like groggy thinking, what is going on? So on my road, there's a church, right? So I'm walking and I see a lady like by the church and she's like slumped over and then she's just screaming. So she looks homeless. Now, I actually feel bad for my initial reaction because I saw that, I put two and two together and said, turned round to go back home. But then I thought, nah, that's not the right thing to do, man. Like, let me at least check if she's bleeding or not. So I walked up to her and I was like, you're right. Then she was just screaming. She's like, ah. I was like, cool. I don't know what to do with that. So I was like, are you okay? Then all I hear is, yeah, she's all right, bruv. Excuse me? Who said that? What? Then some guy emerges from the steps. And we're chatting. I'm like, oh, she all right? And he's like, yeah, but she's taking something called G.
Excuse me?
Then I was like, then he goes to me, what? Do you know what it is?
No.
And I said, nah, I was going to ask you what that is. I don't know what that is.
What G is.
And he said, nah, I don't know. So now I'm like, okay, let me call the ambulance. And listening to her, like when I tell you, like she is stick thin, like medically thin.
Did you see blood?
No, there's no blood.
Okay.
No blood. But she keeps saying, my baby, I'm about to give birth. So it's okay, cool. There's delusion there. She's the realities that we're seeing is not aligned.
She's in, yeah.
It's not aligned. So I thought, okay, cool. Need to call the ambulance because she's having an episode. So we need to make sure she's all right. So I'm on the phone to the guy. We're chatting. So I'm telling him what's going on, trying to describe her and stuff. And all the while she's cussing me out because she thinks I'm calling the police.
Oh.
Call me a pussy clerk. I got called a cunt a lot, like a lot. I'm trying to be like, you know what?
Delusion.
Just take type of thing. But at some point, right, I got my back to her, and the guy I'm talking to, the emergency services, goes to me like, "Is she violent?" And I was like, "No, she's not." And I turned around, and I was like, "She's not violent, but staring at her pussy right now." What? Now let me explain that sentence, right?
I thought she's gonna bang you in the face.
No. Let me explain. Let me explain that sentence. What? Bro, by the time I turned around, because I was trying to like discreetly describe her.
Was there a baby?
No, there's no baby.
Oh.
Shut up. What? So by the time I turned around, she was like standing, but she'd like taken her trousers down. If she had pants, those as well, and was just standing there saying, I need to piss, and then just squatted and done it. And I was like, oh no, she's just urinating. It's nothing violent. With
Main road
with the nunny, nothing violent.
I'm scared.
So yeah, so by that point, I was like to him, like, how long will an ambulance take to come, etc. He said half an hour, and I thought to myself, well, I have a decision to make here, right? So I stay out here for 30 minutes to see if they come, or do I go home?
She clearly got a guy here already.
Now, to be fair, my missus didn't find the cape, so I went back home.
I would have went back home.
But what I did do is, I could see from the window, so I was like, okay, cool. Like, you know when you feel vested in the decision that you make, so I had to see the kind of the outcome and kind of make sure she was okay and stuff. So I was like, Mrs. was talking to me. He's like, yeah. I'm just looking at the window just to make sure the ambulance are coming. They came in force, by the way. bare of them.
What, the ambulance?
So there was like, because at first I thought it was police, and then I was like, oh, I didn't want them to come.
Nah, she's gonna think I snitched.
But I do understand. When it does come to that, you just don't know what you're walking into, especially as like a paramedic and stuff. But it did seem as though they were all ambulance or of that ilk. They tried, and that random guy who was on the steps, he kind of stayed with her, so he seemed like he knew her and stuff. But yeah, eventually they had to kind of stretch her out because she wouldn't go like cooperatively. But there is seriousness to the story as well, because it speaks to like mental health and I suppose how it's viewed, because I'm a mental health first aider, by the way. But even when I walked into that situation, there was a part of me that went, and I don't like that. But and I'm supposed to be mental health first aider. So yeah, it's just a discussion that I think we really should have in the next few episodes. Just kind of boiling
We
down
need to
mental
find out
health,
what the
etc.
fuck G is, bruv.
You know?
That as well.
Because G is laying down the streets, by the sound of it. Stay away from G,
It
kids.
looked like a mad thing, whatever it was. Still,
Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah,
Definitely. We will be talking about that in future episodes. And I think, yeah, mental health is definitely a topic we need to discuss. For sure.
As we will. We got a big episode to do on that, actually.
Absolutely.
yeah,
A
definitely.
rerun, seen as we had to remove an episode.
Yeah, unfortunately. Yeah.
We won't even get into that.
And
It's just, yeah,
Honestly.
peace and love.
Peace and love, people.